got the inverter, which is 1800 watt power to go. Off-the-shelf item. Anybody can buy these. The output from that goes through a variac, which again you can buy off of eBay. The variac comes in, feeds into a DC power supply right here that converts that AC into DC, rectified and filtered, producing about 205 volts maximum at about 2.85 amps is what I measured for that maximum. That goes in to the electrolyzer end to end. And well, I don't like calling these electrolyzers because actually,
yeah, the public don't know what could you point to the box and then give it a quick explanation?
Well, that's one of my 100-cell units. The box was built by Ed Holgate in Clearwater, Florida. The plates were bought from Northern Manufacturing in Ohio. They're 317L. During the cleansing process, it cleans out.
317L for the layman that's a type of stainless steel. It's a very high quality.
Yep. And what I'm doing is I'm cooking this now, getting it ready for a resonance drive system. I'm having to cleanse out the impurities that are on the surface of the metal of the plate. Clean out the pores, essentially. And once this gets done, then you take the electrolyte solution out, you flush it out real good, put in a new batch, and then you start the conditioning process, where you're building up the actual catalytic layer that makes the unit much more efficient.
I told you guys, everything the SMAC learned from Bob Boyce. So pay attention, everyone.
Yeah, I mean, because this applies to all these units like that. And I tell you, it makes a big difference when you have a good conditioned box.
Bob, let's back up to talk about hydroxy and hydrogen boost.
Okay.
Give an explanation of the overall what this does.
Well, gasoline combustion is not very efficient, as we all know. And they have to put on, they run the engines rich so that they can fuel a catalytic converter to clean up the emissions. And that's a very poor way of doing it, because you're burning extra fuel in order to try to clean up the exhaust. Well, when you add hydroxy gas or hydrogen, it acts like a catalyst, aids in the combustion efficiency of gasoline, improves its burn, so you get a more complete burn. If you do it right, you end up with 0 unburned hydrocarbons and 0 carbon monoxide emissions. You end up with elevated CO2 emissions because you're getting a more complete burn. And if it's a high temperature combustion, you'll have some higher NOx emissions. Not that much though. It pretty much makes the catalytic converter unnecessary. And you can tune your engine leaner because you don't need to run rich to fuel the catalytic converter with unburned hydrocarbons.
Did you guys hear that?
So, for right now, because of the way the laws are written, we're not allowed to legally to tamper with vehicles' emissions, so we have to go about it other ways. This particular vehicle, in order to make this legal for me to operate it on the highway, I had to get it recertified and retitled as an electric vehicle. So I am now EPA exempt with this vehicle.
Okay, I've got a close-up of the electrolyzer cell. If you give a layman's explanation of what that is.
It's pretty much a high-precision box that has very highly precision-spaced slots that are milled into it that allows these plates to be driven into place and creates individual cells. Looks sort of like a battery. You know, if you were to cut open a battery, take it apart, you have a whole bunch of plates. The difference is these plates just have empty spaces that's filled with water electrolyte mix. And every one of them is isolated from the next, which means there's no way that water can leak through from one to the other unless you're hitting bumps and slosh it out. But, you know, they're individually sealed and driven in so tight that there's no leakage between the cells.
So it's a tight interference fit that you have there.
Yes, it is. It's only 0.3 of a thousandth clearance over nominal. And being nominal, there's wider spots and narrower spots. But when you press that in, it causes the tight spots to push on the plastic, which makes it tighten up on the narrow spots.
Squeezes on it.
Exactly.
I got you. Yep.
So you end up, by the time you're getting the last plates in, you're hitting them pretty good with a mallet to get them in there.
Wow, okay.
And it makes for a very, very tight fit.
I read in the working water car form that it's that you suggest inserting every other fifth plate and then filling in the gaps?
Yep, exactly. Go every fifth, go all the way through. Start from the end, work to the middle, and then go back and then start filling in, doing the same thing. Put another one in, go all the way in, until you get down to like one row left. And those are going to be the harder ones to get in.
If you go from end to end, your last few plates, you're not going to get them in.
You won't get them in.
Yeah, gotcha.
Because the whole plastic will creep.
Yep.
in the
Okay,
end.
so back to the layman again. So
Yeah.
we have 100 and how many volts across the plate?
It's about 205 volts right now.
And then we have
When I have it cranked
how
up.
many plates?
Larry,
100 cells.
how exciting is this, man?
So the
This
voltage
is just fantastic.
This is the fashizzle, folks.
It's all come together. The rally, I mean, we've gone through
2 volts per
hell.
cell.
Right.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have. It's been quite a journey, but man, this right here has made everything worth it. You agree?
This is it.
Hell yeah.
Everybody comes together here, and now we head to the Keys. We got a nice stop in Miami at the truck stop. There's folks coming out to support us, and then on to the Keys. Life is
And to think I almost didn't make it.
Yeah, see, you would have blown it.
Yep. All right, guys, more to come.